What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, everyone is having a great week. Want to do a little bit something different for our weekly kind of market look this week. Usually, been looking at ES, that overall structure. This week, I want to highlight the Russell. It's trading a really interesting area. Can show some pressures that we might see reflected on ESNQ as well. So on the chart, straight away, we have presented a weekly chart. This is a huge time frame, back down through 2020, 2019. So our COVID low here. And I really want to focus on our nicely kind of set up double distribution here. So from March, January 2021 through about January 2022, so a full year here, we had this really balanced upper distribution put in, which subsequently through 2022 and last year 2023 we sold off of and just balanced below. Well, as of now, we are testing back into this upper structure. I will zoom in on this. We can see we've had 3 subsequent weekly tests now, one in December. In the last 2 weeks, we've been putting pressure up into this area without any really substantial bids able to support. Now, once again, this yearly kind of distribution test, very, 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 very important. We're going to drop down into our daily time frame here and take off this main profile, and we'll just pull from this low through the fall in October. And I want to highlight as well on our daily chart this 52 level down through 37. And I will mark these up really quick for you that we saw tested today. So there is your 37, and we'll see up through this 52. So pretty major pivot zone here. Take this over. And we can see on our node structure as we zoom in here that within this distribution we have a pretty well set up double distribution with some lower desire down into this edge. And over the past couple weeks, we've been able to build out this distribution above. We saw a test today into this zone, specifically putting pressure on this 52. So we have a couple outcomes here, right? As long as this area and this node continues to support, we should expect to see continued oscillations. For a lot of broader market strength, we want to see this breakout and push into that 2021 balanced distribution. Now, with Russell being a small caps, what does that mean in terms of seeing inflow and being able to get that balance break and see that bid and value really moving higher, right? Well, it's giving us an appetite for some of these smaller, more risky companies, and specifically more US-based companies, right? So that volume inflow is just going to show, okay, we're able to digest some risk from smaller companies that should see growth, right? That's really promising for an economic outlook, as well as seeing some of this money go away from stocks that have seemed quote unquote safe for investors, right? We've seen semiconductors this year, we've seen the AI hit names, we've seen GPUs, names like Nvidia, AMD, right? Google, all of these be seeing these inflows that are quite strong, and investors have felt safe because of the news headlines supporting them as well as just the overall consensus, right? If those names can hold, and we see a greater desire for these, like I said, more US based small cap names, more volatile, more room for growth, that shift can then really help support ES and NQ on the push. The opposite as well, if we see this break down, that's a poor look looking ahead for the economy, as well as the exact opposite of how investors view things, right? They want to be in these names that they know can weather the storm. Apple's, right? Microsoft's, Nvidia, names we talked about. So pay specifically attention to Russell tomorrow as well as into next week. See if we can continue to support and oscillate. We should see some more balance then on ES and Q. this look above or the look below. Just looking for larger degree node rotations if we do see that look above or look below. A couple other areas to be interested in is this 2020 edge through our kind of multi-week, multi-month POC zone here at 2010 being your next little area of interest. But two really important tests this week on the Russell. So wanted to highlight that and have it as something to be watching as well as you're doing your intraday trading. But there are some really good swing trade potentials setting up here, either on a break below, a break above, or even continuing to hold the range. Plenty of points to capture and good two-sided trading. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you next week.